everyone. Welcome to another episode of Get to Know Gives Back. I'm your host, Quinn Pettifer, Manager of Brand Initiatives with the Gazette. This is an ongoing podcast series, a chance for the Gazette to talk to our nonprofit community, talk about their mission, the services, a little bit of their history, and of course, how our audience can get involved, whether they need the services or whether they would like to lend some support. So very excited here with Leslie Neugebauer, Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity, getting a chance to talk to Leslie this morning. How are you, Leslie?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having us on today.
Absolutely. So Habitat for Humanity is pretty widely known, even outside of Eastern Iowa, people, they know the name, they will affiliate it with the building of the houses. But I'm going to start off by specifically asking about the Cedar Valley chapter of Habitat for Humanity and the mission and services you provide.
Yeah, so here at Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity, we serve Linn and Benton counties, and we've been around since 1988. And then we serve those two counties through two primary programs, our Affordable Home Ownership Program, as well as our Affordable Repairs Program. So seeking to help individuals that might not have access to a traditional mortgage, making sure that they still have affordable home ownership options available in our community. And then with our Repairs Program, we're working with individuals who currently own their own home or maybe a manufactured home that might not have the necessary resources available to make those accessibility and safety repairs so that they can feel safe and they can maneuver their home with confidence in mind that they'll be safe.
So I think more people are familiar with the build side of things, right? Like you always go to that image of, the board, hammering and the drilling and the, putting up of the walls and everything else. But the home repairs is something I feel, at least like until I got to know the local chapter, I wasn't aware was a service. What's the scale when it comes to repairs? Is it like fixing a fence? Is it leaky faucet? Like what would define a repair?
So we actually kind of revamped our repairs program in 2022 after we were still getting calls and for repairs services in relation to of maybe derecho still. And what we had really found was that we need to do these repairs that are really going to increase the homeowner's safety and accessibility in their home. And so really common repairs are maybe there are damaged windows or doors, maybe their front entrance is unsafe to get into, so repairing porches or steps. We've repaired subflooring that might be rotting through. If there are needs for like a skilled tradesperson to come in, we'll connect with those resources. And then maybe we're connecting with other resources in the community, such as the wheelchair accessibility program, if there might need a ramp, and just trying to make sure that there's plenty of services available in our community for this homeowner to feel safe in their home.
Some enhancements so that it's livable for whoever's living there, or, someone that tries to fix a leaky faucet on their own like me, and then it turns into a bigger issue. And all of a sudden you've got, a pipe issue. No. I would never try to fix that on my own. I know my limits. Anyway, I know demand is constant with Habitat for Humanity, and especially on the house build side of things. Have you seen over the last year, what are your numbers as far as the house builds, the requests for builds? Has that increased? Is that plateaued?
It has increased back to what might be a typical level before the pandemic, I would say. And so after that pandemic, we did kind of slow down a little bit in our building efforts because we didn't have as many applications coming in. And especially this past year, we did see more applications coming in. Our home ownership information sessions were always getting filled up. So that demand has really become steady again for us. So that way, as we're building the homes, we're able to partner a family with that home and move through that process. Similarly to our repairs program, we've been working on that. And last year we were able to hire a repair site supervisor because we did see the demand increase for that program. And so at one point we had to pause applications just so we could keep up with everybody. So now we have our new repair site supervisor. We're really excited. And so we already have about 15 projects working through our application process and getting scope of work done and things like that already. And we're just into March. So
that's amazing. It's speaking of that. So when you are in your peak season during build time, How many homes do you have going? Do you have multiple homes going at once that you're building? Is it one at a time? What's the peak season look like as far as the various projects?
Yeah, so on average, we'll build between 4 to 6 homes per year. And we kind of start off with, in the middle of March, we'll start digging the first home or excavating for the first home. And then once we start to get that home to like the interior finishes phase, then we'll kind of start into digging for the next home. And so that way we can still have some exterior work going on and some interior work available as well. And then that pattern kind of continues through about November, and that's where we kind of start to slow down and just kind of keep 1 or 2 homes to have some interior work over the winter months.
The finishing touches. That makes a lot of sense, because building a home, not that I'm an expert, but I mean, what you understand, from what I understand of building a home, there's different phases.
Right.
And I'm sure with that, there's different experts or volunteers or partners that you have within each phase. So one phase is done, you can maybe move on to the second house and start that phase while another crew comes in. That's a very well-oiled machine throughout
Yes.
the year.
Our construction director has been here for over 10 years, I think actually 13 or 14. And so he has that schedule just on a nice cadence for us.
Yeah. Well, in building a home, nothing goes wrong. Nothing goes off schedule. Right. Supplies come in on time.
Always perfect.
So you need a supervisor just to make sure, just in case.
Yeah.
1 or 2 things are, might be a delay or need to pivot.
Weather's never an issue.
Right. Yeah. in Iowa, come on. So I do want to talk about people getting involved and being able to support the work. I mean, obviously there's the monetary, you're always looking sponsor support and local opportunities there. But for volunteers to build a home or to help with the repair, what's the volunteer program like?
Yeah, so you can always call our program manager and just call our regular number and ask to speak to our program manager. She works to schedule our volunteer programs. And that's kind of the first step, is just kind of knowing what's available, because we do have opportunities in both our restore and on construction sites. A lot of times we are partnering with sponsors on our construction build volunteer days. And so we're working those into the schedule first. And then if we have any openings, then we'll work in with some other community groups as well.
That's very cool. I know Gazette, one of our Day of Caring projects was with Habitat for Humanity a few years back. And our crew came in and we're like, we don't really have a lot of skills. I mean, like, what do we do? And, I mean, it was such a nice, it was great. Like, there was no pressure to do anything that you weren't knowledgeable about. But if you did have hey, I know how to paint, or I know how to, I feel comfortable with a hammer, you could kind of assign different roles accordingly. Is that how most volunteers that aren't, in the trade or in the trades, is that how they usually start out? Like, this is what I feel comfortable doing. This is what you don't want me near a hacksaw or anything.
Yeah, so we do start every morning with like a morning circle to talk about what the tasks are for the day. We also have a group of what we call crew leaders, or skilled volunteers, that come out and volunteer with us on a very regular basis. And so they're also there to assist our more community-based volunteers. And so we typically break up into groups of maybe 2 or 3. So that way they have a crew leader who's more knowledgeable, that can teach them any additional skills they'd like to learn for the day as well, to kind of ease any burden or anxiety somebody might have about, I've never done this before, like, you don't want me doing it. Yes, we do want you to do it. We want you to have that experience and try to use a hammer or use a saw. And we have the resources available there to help you feel comfortable and to help teach you through that process.
Absolutely. I do also remember following the skilled volunteer just to make sure. That's excellent. What about events, fundraisers, signature events that you have throughout the year? Talk a little bit about those.
Yes. So we just wrapped up Home Team Huddle, which is kind of our annual raffle for a fun football weekend getaway. And next, we're going to be moving on to our Bags for a Build tournament, and that is scheduled for July 12th of this year. And then in October, we have our Recycle Gala. We have not finalized that date yet, but that's just such a fun, we call it a trash-in show, but it does not mean that the pieces are made of trash. They are just very creative, and I was actually part of it last year. I decided to make an outfit. And so individuals will pick something up from the restore and incorporate it into an outfit. And then we have a live fashion show, which is just so much fun.
Those creations are amazing. They're so much fun, and I just can't believe that you could take a look at, different kinds of materials and have a vision and be able to turn it into something that's wearable. It is so cool. The pictures alone are always so impressive.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I'm always in awe about the individuals who participate in that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We also have our Women Build classes are a regular occurring event for us now. And so we are kicking those off in March, and they're on the first Tuesday of every month. The full schedule of events are on our website right now. And so we'll start off in March with our basic and advanced hand and power tool classes. We'll do some more instructional classes. So in April, it will be a home maintenance class. And then we also have a couple of DIY projects that are sprinkled in, such as building your own planter. This year, we're going to do elevated pet bowls as well. So
nice.
Something new. So that full schedule is on our website. And then we just open up the links to register about a month in advance.
Very cool. Nice that that's year round, there's opportunities for the builds yourself. Love it. Well, okay. So Leslie, I want to wrap up here. If you are a part of an organization, a company that wants to get involved, sponsor, support, what's the website? What's the contact to go to start those conversations?
Yeah. So our website is cdhabitat.org. So for Cedar Valley. And you can find lots of information about our Women Build, about volunteering, different types of sponsorship opportunities there. And then you could also call us at 319-366-4485, and you can ask to speak to myself. My name is Leslie, or a program manager, just depending on what you're interested in. And we can direct you to the correct person when you call.
Awesome. So cvhabitat.org is the website. If you are an individual or a family that is interested in exploring services either through the home build program or home repairs, same deal. Go to the website. What do you look for on the website if you're looking for services?
For services, we do have a list of criteria for our home ownership program. However, that first step is always, again, a phone call, so that we can get you into our homeowner information session. Those are held monthly as well, so that we can learn more about the program in depth. And then again, with our repairs program, that first step is a call, and we can send you out an application.
Excellent. You cover all the bases. We really appreciate everything that you do. Please send our appreciation to everybody on the team. I know you're getting into your busy season, and you'll be busy throughout the year, but we really appreciate and enjoy having you be part of the Gazette Gives Back.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of it. We appreciate all the support the Gazette's offering our local nonprofit community.
Awesome. Thank you, Leslie. And thank you to our viewers for tuning into another edition of Get to Know Gives Back. Got to give a shout out. Our presenting sponsor, Collins Community Credit Union. They sponsor the podcast series as well as the entire program of Gazette Gives Back throughout 2025. It's a wonderful collaboration and always really appreciate their support. I'm Quinn Pettifer, and we will see you next time.